This happens when you do 25 push-ups twice a day. The prevailing societal narrative around physical fitness frequently portrays exercise as an arduous commitment, often demanding substantial financial investment in gym memberships, requiring vast allocations of time, and strict adherence to complex, often intimidating, training protocols. This widespread perception can inadvertently deter many individuals from even embarking on a fitness journey, fostering a sense of impossibility or overwhelming effort. However, what if the gateway to profound, tangible biological transformation wasn't a monumental undertaking, but rather a remarkably accessible, time-efficient habit, a mere 90 seconds of effort, twice a day, entirely devoid of specialized equipment or the need for a dedicated gym space? Indeed, such a deceptively simple routine, specifically the consistent performance of 25 push-ups in both the morning and evening, possesses the remarkable capacity to instigate a cascade of intricate physiological changes within the human body, many of which are likely to challenge conventional wisdom and profoundly reshape your understanding of attainable health and peak physical function. This comprehensive exploration will meticulously unpack the intricate biological mechanisms and the surprising, far-reaching benefits that systematically unfold when you consciously and consistently integrate this foundational yet extraordinarily potent exercise into the fabric of your daily existence, transforming it from a mere movement into a powerful catalyst for holistic well-being. The foundational and most immediate consequence of engaging in push-ups is the deliberate creation of a profound muscle challenge. By placing a precise, controlled mechanical load and tension upon individual muscle fibers, we initiate a sophisticated cascade of intracellular signaling pathways. Foremost among these is the robust stimulation of mTOR, an acronym for mammalian target of rapamycin. This highly conserved serine threonine protein kinase serves as a pivotal master regulator within the cellular machinery, acting as a direct catalyst for muscle protein synthesis, MPS. MPS is the fundamental biological process by which existing muscle proteins are repaired and new proteins are synthesized, leading directly to the growth and strengthening of muscle tissue. The selection of 25 push-ups per session is far from arbitrary. It represents a meticulously identified sweet spot within the spectrum of resistance exercise. This specific volume of repetitions delivers a sufficiently potent stimulus to vigorously activate the mTOR pathway and drive significant protein synthesis, yet it carefully avoids overstraining the muscle fibers to an extent that would necessitate protracted and elaborate recovery periods. In stark contrast to the intensive, high-volume training protocols often adopted by competitive bodybuilders, whose explicit objective is to intentionally push muscles to the point of substantial micro-tears and subsequent extensive breakdown for maximal hypertrophy, this moderate approach expertly bypasses the need for such severe tissue damage. Extreme resistance training of that nature typically mandates recovery periods ranging from 48 to 72 hours, often extending to 2 or even 3 full days, to allow for comprehensive muscle repair and regeneration before the next session, targeting the same muscle group. The inherent brilliance of the 25 push-up routine resides precisely in its delicate balance. It is sufficiently challenging to elicit a robust anabolic stimulus, a powerful signal for muscle building, without imposing a compensatory requirement for dedicated rest days. This strategic advantage means the exercise can be performed consistently, twice daily, effectively establishing and perpetually maintaining an open anabolic window. This continuous state ensures that the muscle growing and adaptive processes are consistently engaged. The physiological signal generated from each individual push-up session, once initiated, remains biologically active and influential for an impressive duration, typically spanning approximately 24 to 48 hours. Therefore, by executing 2 such sessions per day, you effectively ensure that this crucial muscle building and repair pathway remains continuously active, maximizing the potential for ongoing adaptation and progressive strength gains throughout the entire day and night, transforming your body into a perpetual engine of cellular renewal. Despite its outward appearance as a straightforward, even primitive movement, simply lowering lowering and then pushing your body away from the floor. The push-up is, in actuality, an exceptionally sophisticated and remarkably comprehensive compound exercise. It simultaneously recruits and activates an extensive network of muscles and interconnected muscle groups spanning the entirety of the human physique. The primary movers, those muscles bearing the brunt of the propulsive effort, include the formidable pectoralis major, colloquially known as your big chest muscle, responsible for adduction and flexion of the arm, the powerful triceps brachii, situated at the posterior aspect of the upper arm, crucial for elbow extension, and the anterior deltoid, comprising the front portion of your shoulder, which assists in shoulder flexion and internal rotation. Yet, the muscular engagement extends far beyond these prime movers. A multitude of synergist and stabilizing muscles are intricately woven into the movement pattern, contributing significantly to its execution and structural integrity. These include the serratus anterior, a fan-shaped muscle underneath the shoulder blade that plays a vital role in scapular protraction and upward rotation, thus stabilizing the shoulder girdle, and the pectoralis minor, a smaller, deeper chest muscle that aids in depressing the shoulder. Critically, the push-up inherently demands the profound engagement of your entire abdominal complex, a powerhouse of core stability. This encompasses the rectus abdominis, the six-pack muscle, the internal and external obliques, responsible for rotational and lateral movements, and the transversus abdominis, a deep core muscle that acts like a natural corset, all working in harmonious synergy to maintain a rigid, plank-like posture and prevent the body from sagging. Furthermore, the posterior chain is also actively recruited, including the erector spinae group and other extensor muscles of the back, which are essential for maintaining a neutral, aligned spine throughout the movement. Descending further, the hip musculature also plays a crucial stabilizing role. The gluteus maximus, the largest muscle of the buttocks, provides hip extension and external rotation, while the iliopsoas, a group of powerful hip flexors situated at the front of the hip, helps maintain the plank position by preventing hyperextension of the lumbar spine. Even in the upper back and shoulder region, the rhomboids, major and minor, which retract and rotate the scapula, along with the lower and mid portions of the trapezius muscles, which stabilize and move the scapula, and the critically important rotator cuff muscles, a quartet of muscles providing dynamic stability to the glenohumeral joint, are all actively engaged. Surprisingly, even the lower body, despite its seemingly passive role, is significantly activated. The quadriceps, the large group of muscles on the front of the thigh, contract isometrically to maintain knee extension, and the tibialis anterior, located on the front of the lower leg, helps stabilize the ankle. In summation, this single, seemingly straightforward exercise, when executed with proper form, orchestrates the coordinated contraction and stabilization of approximately 20 distinct muscles, rendering it an exceptionally efficient and remarkably comprehensive full-body conditioning movement. Beyond its profound impact on muscular development and strength, the consistent performance of push-ups yields equally significant benefits for your cardiovascular system, directly enhancing heart health and overall circulatory efficiency. The scientific community has long established a compelling correlation between an individual's muscular endurance capabilities and their overall cardiovascular fitness. Indeed, the ability to perform a specific number of push-ups has emerged as a surprisingly reliable proxy, a tangible indicator for assessing one's underlying cardiovascular health. A pivotal study conducted by Harvard University researchers in 2019 provided compelling empirical evidence for this connection. This landmark research revealed that male participants capable of completing 40 or more push-ups in a single, unassisted set demonstrated a dramatically reduced, indeed an astonishingly lower, risk of experiencing future cardiovascular events such as myocardial infarction, heart attack, or stroke when compared to their counterparts who could only manage fewer than 10 repetitions. This finding is far more significant than merely suggesting a correlation with stronger upper body muscles. It unequivocally points to a systemic, overarching improvement in the individual's overall health and physiological resilience. The underlying physiological mechanism driving this benefit involves the heart's remarkable capacity for adaptation in response to sustained increases in demand. During the execution of push-ups, the actively working muscles require a significantly increased supply of oxygen-rich blood and vital nutrients. This heightened demand directly necessitates an elevated cardiac output, meaning the heart must pump a greater volume of blood per minute, achieved through a combination of increased heart rate and enhanced stroke volume, the amount of blood ejected with each beat. By regularly and consistently subjecting the heart to this beneficial, albeit challenging workload through routine push-ups, the cardiac muscle undergoes a process of adaptive remodeling over time. This adaptation manifests as an increase in the inherent strength of the heart muscle itself, alongside a measurable improvement in its stroke volume. In essence, through diligent training, your heart transforms into a more robust, more efficient, and more powerful pump, capable of circulating blood more effectively throughout the entire body. This enhanced cardiac efficiency directly contributes to superior cardiovascular resilience, significantly lowering the long-term risk of developing serious and debilitating cardiac conditions, thereby extending both the quality and potentially the duration of life. Another critical and often overlooked physiological benefit derived from consistent push-ups pertains to the intricate regulation of blood sugar levels. Many individuals remain largely unaware of a fascinating property of muscle tissue: its inherent ability to utilize glucose, the body's primary energy source, through pathways that are entirely independent of insulin. To fully appreciate this mechanism, it's beneficial to briefly recap the conventional process of glucose uptake. Following the consumption of carbohydrates, glucose enters the bloodstream, leading to an increase in blood sugar. For most cells to absorb this circulating glucose, insulin, a hormone meticulously produced by the pancreas, is typically indispensable. Insulin functions by binding to specific receptor proteins embedded on the outer surface of target cells. This binding event initiates an intricate intracellular signaling cascade that culminates in the activation and subsequent translocation of specialized proteins known as GLUT4 transporters. These GLUT4 transporters, typically residing within the cell's interior, migrate to the cell surface, effectively acting as molecular gateways or channels that facilitate the swift and efficient uptake of glucose from the bloodstream into the cellular cytoplasm. While insulin is indeed the predominant activator of GLUT4 transporters during periods of rest, exercise presents a unique and alternative pathway. Physical activity directly stimulates these very same GLUT4 transporters to translocate to the cell surface, thereby enabling glucose uptake into muscle cells entirely independently of insulin's influence. This scientific revelation carries profound implications for metabolic health. It signifies that even a brief, concentrated burst of physical activity, such as performing 25 push-ups, can effectively and immediately reduce postprandial blood glucose and insulin spikes, those transient but often significant elevations in blood sugar and insulin levels that occur after a meal. By actively engaging your muscles, you effectively create an insulin mimetic effect, helping to balance, smooth out, and stabilize blood sugar fluctuations, which is crucial for preventing the long-term negative consequences associated with chronic hyperglycemia. There's a persistent, albeit largely unfounded, societal myth suggesting that exercising immediately after a meal is detrimental due to a perceived competition for blood flow between the digestive system and the working muscles. While it is certainly true that the digestive process necessitates an increased blood supply to the gastrointestinal tract to facilitate nutrient absorption, it is crucial to understand that the body's cardiac output, the total volume of blood pumped by the heart per minute, is not a fixed or static quantity. The heart possesses an extraordinary adaptive capacity to dynamically increase its output, ensuring that sufficient blood flow can be effectively redistributed to simultaneously meet the demands of both an active digestive system and moderately working muscles. Given that 25 push-ups constitute a relatively short, albeit intensely focused, burst of physical activity, typically lasting between 60 to 90 seconds, the acute demand for blood from the muscles is not overwhelming. Consequently, this brief effort is highly unlikely to compromise or significantly disrupt the ongoing process of digestion. However, it is prudent to acknowledge that this delicate physiological balance can indeed be upset by excessively extreme or prolonged exercise immediately following a substantial meal, such as attempting to run a marathon, which would undeniably create an unsustainable and detrimental competition for the body's limited resources. The multifaceted benefits of consistent push-up practice extend significantly to encompass profound positive impacts on both your brain's cognitive function and your body's intricate hormonal balance. Engaging in any form of relatively intense physical exertion, even a seemingly modest set of push-ups that doesn't qualify as a full-blown major workout, serves as a potent stimulus for a remarkable increase in the endogenous production and release of brain-derived neurotrophic factor, BDNF. BDNF is often poetically described as miracle grow for your brain due to its unparalleled and essential role in promoting the growth, enhancing the survival, and fostering the plasticity of neurons, the fundamental building blocks of the brain. Elevated circulating levels of BDNF are directly correlated with and lead to tangible, measurable improvements in a wide array of cognitive functions. These enhancements manifest as a pronounced increase in focus and attentional capacity, a discernible elevation in mood and emotional resilience, and a significantly heightened capability for neuroplasticity. Neuroplasticity refers to the brain's extraordinary ability to reorganize itself, form new neural connections, and adapt to new experiences and learning. Consequently, a brain enriched with BDNF becomes more adept at rewiring its circuitry, more efficient at adapting to novel challenges, and markedly more proficient at acquiring and consolidating new knowledge and skills. Furthermore, consistent push-ups offer a judicious and highly effective mechanism for managing your body's delicate hormonal rhythms, particularly those related to stress and energy. In the natural diurnal cycle, upon waking in the morning, your body instinctively initiates a surge in the release of cortisol, a primary stress hormone. This evolutionary response is designed to physiologically prime you for the day's demands by mobilizing stored energy reserves and transiently increasing blood sugar levels, effectively preparing you for immediate action. Cortisol is an integral component of this preparatory waking package. Performing a set of push-ups early in the day provides an ideal and productive conduit for channeling this naturally elevated cortisol. It actively utilizes the hormone for its intended biological purpose, supporting physical exertion. In the absence of such an outlet, unutilized or chronically elevated cortisol, especially when coupled with sedentary behavior, can unfortunately transition from a beneficial physiological response into a detrimental state of chronic stress, often leading to undesirable outcomes such as persistent anxiety, impaired immune function, and the preferential accumulation of visceral belly fat. Thus, an early morning set of push-ups not only leverages this inherent hormonal readiness, but also preemptively mitigates the potential negative effects of unchanneled cortisol. Conversely, performing a second set of push-ups in the evening, ideally not immediately before bedtime to allow the body's physiological arousal to subside, also confers distinct and valuable advantages. This evening exertion can contribute to a modest but beneficial boost in the levels of anabolic hormones such as testosterone and human growth hormone, further complementing the positive effects of BDNF release. Moreover, the moderate physical exertion involved can, somewhat paradoxically, aid in preparing the body for a more restorative sleep by expending accumulated energy and promoting a sense of physical accomplishment and well-being, it helps the body transition into a relaxed state, unlike more intense late-night workouts that might be overly stimulating. The cumulative impact of these twice-daily sessions extends far beyond mere physical exercise. It essentially acts as a consistent, dependable brain boost applied twice daily. Individuals who consistently adhere to this regimen frequently report a subjective experience of feeling tangibly brighter, more energetic, more alive, and consistently experiencing superior focus and an elevated mood throughout their waking hours. Embarking upon this transformative 90-day push-up challenge is not merely an act of physical exertion, it is an investment in habit formation, a commitment that typically requires several weeks of unwavering consistency to truly ingrain. However, the profound wisdom lies in extending beyond this initial 3-month period, solidifying the routine into an intrinsic and non-negotiable component of your daily lifestyle. At this point, the accruing benefits become so deeply satisfying, so intrinsically rewarding, that the very notion of discontinuation becomes undesirable, replaced by a powerful internal drive for continuity. In the initial phase, spanning approximately week 1 and 2, you will almost certainly experience a remarkably swift and significant increase in perceived strength. This early surge, however, is not primarily attributable to actual muscle growth, which takes longer to manifest. Instead, it is predominantly a reflection of sophisticated neurological adaptations. Your brain's motor cortex rapidly refines its ability to send precise, optimally timed electrical signals to the recruitment of muscle fibers, dramatically improving the neuromuscular coordination, efficiency, and overall effectiveness of the movement. You are, in essence, becoming more skilled at performing the push-up. While you are getting stronger, there isn't yet any substantial increase in the physical size of muscle fibers. As you progress into weeks 3 and 4, you will continue to experience further, very tangible increases in muscular strength. At this stage, beyond the continued refinement of timing, your body also enhances its muscle fiber recruitment capabilities. Under normal circumstances, even during strenuous exercise or heavy lifting, the body typically doesn't recruit 100% of its available muscle fibers simultaneously. Instead, it utilizes a smaller percentage, rotating activation among fibers to prevent premature fatigue and safeguard against tissue damage. During this specific period, your neurological system learns to more effectively engage and activate a greater proportion of these dormant or less utilized muscle fibers, significantly boosting your functional strength and working capacity. It is typically within the second month of consistent adherence to this regimen that the first signs of actual muscular hypertrophy, the physiological increase in muscle size and cross-sectional area, begin to materialize. While the muscle fibers are indeed growing larger and becoming thicker, these changes are often subtle, occurring on a microscopic scale, making them potentially imperceptible to the naked eye at this early stage. Concomitantly, you will experience a noticeably improved cardiovascular efficiency. Your heart muscle, having undergone its adaptive remodeling, will pump blood more effectively and economically, translating into a reduced sensation of breathlessness and a significant decrease in overall fatigue during physical activity. Furthermore, your posture will undergo a substantial improvement. This is a direct result of strengthening the numerous core and upper body muscles that play a pivotal role in maintaining spinal alignment and upright posture, alongside a marked enhancement in overall shoulder stability. By the 3rd month, these cumulative processes continue to accelerate and consolidate. The muscle growth that subtly commenced in month 2 now progresses to a more discernible degree, reaching a point where tangible changes in overall body composition become evident. You will almost certainly observe a significant improvement in your lean mass to fat ratio, indicating a healthier proportion of muscle mass relative to adipose tissue. At this stage, many individuals can clearly discern visible differences in their physical appearance and experience a profound sense of enhanced physical capability. Moreover, the probability of experiencing significantly improved sleep quality, characterized by deeper, more restorative sleep, and enjoying a more stable, consistent, and sustained energy level throughout your entire day increases dramatically. When one thoughtfully aggregates the total effort expended over these initial 90 days, 25 push-ups meticulously performed twice daily, it culminates in an astonishing total of 4,500 push-ups. This formidable number stands as a powerful testament to the extraordinary cumulative impact of a simple yet unwavering commitment to a consistent high-leverage habit. For individuals who may not yet possess the requisite strength to comfortably execute a full unassisted push-up, it is absolutely paramount to internalize the message that this initial limitation should never be construed as an insurmountable obstacle, or worse, an excuse for inaction. The fundamental and overarching objective is not immediate perfection, but rather the establishment of an unbreakable habit and the commitment to a progressive path of strength acquisition. If the target of 25 full push-ups proves to be currently beyond your immediate capacity, the intelligent approach is to initiate with a manageable number, perhaps starting with 5 or 10 repetitions per session and judiciously breaking these down into smaller, achievable sets. For instance, you could strategically perform 5 sets of 5 repetitions, or undertake an initial set of 10, followed by another 10, and then a final set of 5 to meticulously reach your prescribed total of 25. The core principle here is not the speed or the initial ease, but rather the unwavering consistency in completing the designated repetitions daily. Mercifully, a multitude of effective modifications exist to precisely scale the exercise to align with your current strength level. One of the most common and profoundly effective adaptations is to perform push-ups with your knees gently resting on the ground, which significantly reduces the effective body weight being lifted and thus the overall load on the upper body. Another highly valuable variation involves consciously reducing the range of motion, opting to descend only halfway towards the floor instead of attempting a full chest-to-ground movement. By creatively combining these adaptable factors, adjusting the number of repetitions, utilizing knee support, and modifying the range of motion, you can precisely identify a starting point that is challenging yet achievable for your current physical capabilities. Should these modifications still present an overwhelming challenge, even lighter, more accessible variations are readily available. Performing push-ups against a sturdy wall or with your hands elevated on a stable surface such as a bed, a robust countertop, or a sturdy chair further progressively decreases the resistance, making the movement more accessible. The overarching philosophical principle underpinning this approach is to simply begin the movement in any feasible form and then systematically and progressively increase the difficulty as your intrinsic strength undeniably improves. The singular focus should remain on consistently accumulating the prescribed number of repetitions each day, fostering the habit above all else. As your strength incrementally improves, you can seamlessly transition from wall push-ups to elevated surface push-ups, then to knee push-ups performed on the floor, and ultimately to the mastery of full push-ups, gradually and methodically increasing your repetitions from 5 to 10, then to 15, progressively reaching 25, and for some, even venturing beyond. This systematic progressive overload ensures continuous adaptation and tangible gains. For an even more profoundly synergistic and comprehensive health benefit, consider the strategic integration of this push-up routine with squats, another foundational and remarkably potent bodyweight exercise. A previous video meticulously elucidated the extensive and far-reaching advantages of squats, and the deliberate combination of these two cornerstone exercises, the push-up and the squat, creates an extraordinarily powerful, yet entirely manageable, full-body conditioning routine. You possess the flexibility to perform the push-ups and squats sequentially, one immediately following the other, or to strategically break them down into alternating intervals. For instance, you might elect to perform 5 squats followed by 5 push-ups, meticulously repeating this cycle. until you have completed your desired total sets and repetitions. For those individuals who have cultivated the capacity for 25 full repetitions of each exercise, performing them consecutively not only maximizes muscle engagement across diverse groups, but also significantly amplifies the cardiovascular benefits, all without necessitating an excessive time commitment or requiring any specialized fitness equipment. This thoughtfully integrated, synergistic approach engages a significantly broader spectrum of muscle groups throughout the entire body, thereby profoundly amplifying the overall health, fitness, and functional benefits derived from your daily commitment. Ultimately, true mastery of one's health and well-being emanates not from esoteric knowledge or extreme deprivation, but from a deep, intuitive understanding of the intricate workings of your own physiological machinery and the unwavering, consistent application of simple, yet profoundly high-leverage daily habits. This holistic and empowering approach serves as the foundational blueprint for achieving and sustaining enduring well-being, transforming your body into a resilient, efficient, and vital vessel for a long and healthy life.